For over a quarter of a century, the best paintball teams in the world have gathered in Orlando, Florida at the end of the year to answer a simple question through a hard test. Who is the best on the biggest stage at the last event of the season? Over the years, the World Cup has been the scene of gunfight magic, a place of battle where skills earned through hard work, applied in the biggest of moments, has forged talented names into legend. But this year, the COVID pandemic has deferred dreams, stopped stories, and the entire sport at its highest level was put on hold. With only one NXL event in the books, the middle of the season became the longest offseason that we have ever had. But the brakes are now off. World Cup 2020 is just on the horizon, and the 4-day battle to see who is the world's best paintball team is almost here. Who will emerge as the champion? Go watch all of the intense battles now from the 2020 NXL World Cup, only on GoSports.com.
So Wyatt Neaton starting to come here, take the walk. That's Johnny Iannucci Jr. and CJ Cantor.
Cantor was playing good at the practice.
I was going to ask you, you know, I just had my baby, so I wasn't able to make it out to the Invitational, but you know, I did watch some tape, obviously, but
so Aftermath struggled a little bit on the Snake side. They played real well on the Dorito side, but when they did play well on the Snake side, it was when Cantor secondaried over there and made things happen.
Well, it looks like we're about to start point number one just as the rain. This is
as you can see, the rain is now clear.
Paintball in 2020 is that the second.
The rain is cleared up.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
The second they fix the scoreboard, the second everyone starts to head out there, and the rain starts to pour down a little bit harder here. So there is Columbus Level. How did Level look?
So Level struggled. This is their smaller, faster lineup. They've got another lineup where a couple of the big boys come in. And honestly, they looked rough in Ohio, but made some improvements and looked a lot better in Virginia. Yeah. Okay. I mean, they just, you know, they were a step behind everybody, but in Virginia, they looked significantly better. I mean, noticeably better. And by the end of that event, they even looked better than they did at the beginning of that event. So I think they're doing what they need to do. They work really hard.
Well, jumping into point number one here at the World Cup, and it looks like a little ground going to be taken by Iannucci as he gets into the Snake here in our split screen breakout. So, but aggression from Columbus Level, and we're going to have our first battle here at the 50 Snake. Iannucci tries to get the drop, but it looks like Level going to stay alive. So,
Aftermath dropping their first player.
Yeah, 4 alive, 3 alive right now for Aftermath, it looks like.
Yeah, 4 alive for Aftermath.
Yeah, 4 alive for Aftermath. As Iannucci getting shot out of the Snake, they're going to be losing potentially Wyatt out of that center. No, Wyatt's still alive at the brick, but another body coming off. It's CJ Cantor here as Level at the 50-yard line and wrapping around here from that Snake side. So, Rich, you talked about how potent this Snake can be.
Yeah, and that's why.
It definitely helps if you shoot the guy in front of you right away.
If you get to that 50 Snake and there's no one in your Snake, Matty, or nobody in the corner, you just wrap and shoot everybody on the field, and that's why it's so dominant. With the Doritos, you got to go all the way into the. Look at Hopper hitting across the field on that guy. Oh, they saw him.
Trying a little counter punch there on the D side here for Aftermath. Wyatt tries to roll the dice in the center as he realized he was losing pretty much all of his teammates, and it's going to be Dowiak, who was the player in the Snake here.
And he played well in the practices for Level. He was a strong Snake guy. First few events, he played it a little bit tentative, like he would just sit back there and wait as he was losing guys. But as the match went on, he started hustling down the Snake like he did there and played well.
Well, it was interesting to watch Level play in Vegas because they liked to run fast, aggressive points. Their game against Aftermath, so this is a rematch from Vegas, that set a record for points scored in Vegas. 18 points were scored.
Wow, that's a lot of hustle. That's a lot of hustle.
Yeah, that was a long battle, and Level ended up taking that victory actually 10-8, but that was the only game that they were able to win at their very first pro event. They also lost to AC Dallas by a mercy rule, lost to Dynasty, and lost to Infamous. Though that Infamous game was pretty close, a 1-point loss. So here we go. Wild Dogs' very first point as a professional squad.
ML Kings on the right. Wild Dogs over here on the left. Look like Wild Dogs are going to go 3 Snake side. Heavy shooters, 4 in the pocket. And first player getting eliminated over there from ML Kings going up the center.
Yeah, good off the break shots here for the Wild Dogs. They double up that back center, and then on a delay, Wild Dogs able to get a body to the inside part of that Snake structure. Here comes a secondary move up to the brick in the center for the ML Kings.
And they're in the Snake as well. First, ML Kings lose their second player out of the Snake now. So 3 ML Kings players left alive.
Wild Dogs are looking pretty good in this point here, Rich. That's 3 bodies have now come off for the ML Kings.
Yep.
Wild Dogs owning the Snake.
So Wild Dogs super aggressive, super fast, and one of the problems they have is because they're so fast and aggressive, sometimes they put it on people a little bit more than they should and draw some penalties they probably shouldn't, but really strong first point there for them.
Well, that was a beautiful first point here for the Wild Dogs, and they're pumped up. Going to go up 1-0 in a match that the ML Kings need to win. The ML
Very
Kings,
emotional team.
If you want to make it to Sunday, you got to win 2 games. Typically, is the
and you got to win your soft games, right?
And you have to win. You have to win the games against.
There's no real soft games out here, but there are softer games, and you have to win those because the hard ones are too tough.
So Vasquez looking pretty good here in the snake. But, you know, Rich, as you were talking about, the question with the Wild Dogs at this level is how are they going to work teamwork-wise, because they haven't got a ton of practices together because they are from different countries, and then how are they going to adjust to the speed and the pace? But athletically, man-to-man, talent-to-talent, you were saying that that was the big question. Athletically, they're great. You know, they're fine there.
Making those adjustments is going to be the challenge.
Gun skills, cool.
Yep.
Athletic, they can run and gun. They can, you know, dive headfirst in the snake. No problem there. But as we well know, this is the best of the best. So are they going to be able to adjust the speed? But they looked great in that first point.
Right, but are they going to be able to make the adjustments throughout the weekend that the other teams are making, right?
Yes, and the ML Kings, I don't know, they just looked really soft in that first point, man. 3 early deaths for them. Now jumping back into this game here is Level going to double up that back center. Aftermath tries to take a little bit of ground outside on the D side, loses that body.
Yeah, it's hard to get out past that temple over there. Now look at this, Level's in the snake and the 50 Dorito over there, the 50 wing. And now in their wing on the Dorito side, really moving up that Dorito side of the field, Matt.
Yeah, that D side, as we talked about here before the start of this match, very, very powerful D side. Every D side player that I talked to in the weeks leading up to this event, once the layout came out, really happy with the offensive possibilities over there. There's another kill here for Level crossfield from that D side.
Well, and a lot of what makes the D side so good, Matty, is the snake is so powerful and you never know where the snake guy is. So even the guys on the Dorito side a lot of times are looking over here at the snake side. So even though the guys are over there, the guns are this way. So I told you Greg made a 5-piece and a 4-piece. It's because he bunkered 2 guys over there because all 5 guys were looking this way.
Talk about Greg Montalvo from the ML Kings. But right now, it looks like
Level up.
Aftermath is going to have to concede their second point in a row.
Iannucci's not going to be happy about that. We don't have our Iannucci cam here, unfortunately, but it is on the way. Corona.
Yeah, I had Thomas on our Go Sports live show. Thomas Mantoni.
Is he back out of the hospital now?
Yeah, he said he kind of deserved it a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
And then
he took it like a champ.
I talked to John too here at this event, and he said, "Yeah, you know, I try not to do that. I just try not to let my emotions get the better of me. I won't be doing that here." And it was actually Tom Cole, and John Iannucci. And Tom was like, "Hey, John, and just want to let you know, if you do that here, I'm gonna have to kick you out." And he's like, "No, I'm not gonna do it. I totally understand."
I would never do that. Yeah, it was just, you know, they're all buddies, they're all friends, so, you know, it's just, you know, having fun, being frustrated. And they were chirping, and when you chirp too much, sometimes you get bit.
Well, that argument had started apparently days before, so that was just the culmination of multiple days of chirping at each other. So, but right now, Aftermath needs to kind of get it together a little bit. Still a lot of game to work with here, and again, the conditions are kind of tough.
Yeah, and I've seen them come back, you know, so they have that ability.
But down by 2 early.
ML Kings here, breaking out 3 snake side. Oh, they go to that snake corner. That's a big bite. He makes it there live. Oh, look at that. Wild Dogs all the way into their brick on the break. Oh, and he looks into the first hit. He should have just stayed there.
Yeah, that was a bold move that almost played out well for him, but just got caught on that first wrap here. So that's going to be a body up right now for the ML Kings. Yeah. Kappas was able to make it out wide. That's another body dropping here for the Wild Dogs.
Wild Dogs are in the 50 snake, but they know he's there. 5 alive from ML Kings, although the center player is getting a check.
We have, no penalties so far here, as the refs typically are going to try to, you know, make an example early. Haven't seen anything yet. Padilla in the snake right now for the ML Kings. Kappas out wide. Here comes a couple moves on the D side for the ML Kings. It might be Kyle Berry trying to get out.
It looked like it was Diego for the Wild Dogs that went into their brick on the break.
Here comes Padilla.
Nice move.
Ooh, Padilla comes and bunkers out. The player for the Wild Dogs there at the 50-yard line, and it looks like he stays alive. So nice work by Padilla.
Yeah, that player's up there. He's got to protect himself if he's got nobody behind him, right? If you're the front guy on the snake and you're looking inside and there's nobody behind you and there's a guy in front of you, he's going to come get you.
ML Kings look way better in this second point. They stayed alive. They're making nice, crisp moves. There's another kill for Padilla crossfield.
Yeah, they're going to win 5 alive, it looks like, with this.
Perfect point.
Almost like the first point for the Wild Dogs.
Maybe it's this left side over here.
It's the left side, strong side.
So ML Kings able to tie it up on the back of a nice catch of that player for the Wild Dogs, who made it all the way up onto their side of the field. They got that kill, and then Padilla went to work on that snake side to tie things up here. Score 1-1 early on. Still a lot of time to work with for both of these squads. Yeah, that was Kyle Berry getting out wide on the D side. Couple nice fills out there for the ML Kings.
Yeah, they were doing that in practice. They were taking those corners and drawing the pressure off the center guys. And I didn't think they'd be able to do it out here, but because of the rain, it's probably a little easier to make those corners.
It's also tough, too, from a tactical game plan standpoint in the rain. You go out there with your game plan here on a rainy day. If it works, it's really tough when you go to a non-raining day because then you have to have that hard conversation. Like, okay, well, did it actually work or was it just working because no one was shooting straight and no one could see out of their goggles?
Shot of Aftermath there. Cannot afford to go down 3-0 here. Need to win this point.
Looking like they're running with Wyatt again. He's probably going to be going up that center. There's Iannucci again, going to be going that snake side. So here we're watching Aftermath on the breakout. Just going to keep that one body back with Wyatt, and they are going to get Iannucci into the snake, but he immediately gets caught. So that's the first body to come off, and that's another one coming off for the Aftermath boys.
Oh, and they got 2 stacked in that center brick, so if they, by losing their outside guys and leaving 2 in the middle there, oh, good move across into the snake there for Aftermath. Level losing their first player on the Dorito side.
Yeah, that's good damage control for Aftermath to get that body out wide. Now, can he live in this engagement? Oh, and he does. That was an absolutely beautiful move here from CJ Canner. CJ Canner wraps around, he gets another kill. CJ Canner going to try to steal this point away from Columbus Level. Beautiful work from here from Canner.
Yeah, it's a 3-on-1 now. Level went from winning that point to losing that point really quickly off a big move by CJ Cantor.
Rich, it looked disastrous for Aftermath at the start of that one to get both those bodies stuck in that center, but CJ knew that he could not just try to contain from there.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where you have to make the move. Whether you execute or not, if you're not making that move, you're not giving yourself a chance to win that game. If you sit there and wait for the other team to run into your gun, you're not taking the control that you need to.
And play to the conditions.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to make it through through lanes in the rain. It's hard, I mean, these barrels have ports in them for the gas, for the compressed air, and if you don't have tape on those, and
I was going to think, Matt, come on, man. You know we taped our barrels up.
Yeah, but I don't see any tape. I don't see any tape.
Rookies. Rookies.
I don't see many visors, and I don't see any tape.
You know what me and Billy Wing would be wearing out here. Visors up, double visor, maybe triple visor.
I was never
tape everything.
Maybe when I was like a kid, I had a couple. There was a visor era, but I was anti-visor.
So before your time, there was a movie called White Man Can't Jump, and the theme of the movie was it's much like my friend Paul. It's more important to be cool than it is to be good.
Yeah, stop points, dude.
Yeah.
All right, here we go now as the Wild Dogs tied up with the ML Kings. ML Kings try to get that body up the center. He's going to get taken out, but they do get the same kill. So now 2 bodies have come off for the Wild Dogs, just 1 for the ML Kings. Move on the D side for the ML Kings, getting into D2 out wide, D3 out wide, and into D4.
And no one can shut that down. Now the cam switches for the Dogs, but the guys already got up there.
Rich, this is what you were talking about. Tough situation for the Wild Dogs. Those back bunkers, really tough to hold out from there. This is the question is going to be answered here at this event is, can you defend?
Yeah.
And
what I talked to him about, because I didn't want to tell him too much because I don't want to mess him up because I haven't been working with him, but what I did tell him is don't stay in those back bunkers. I was like, if you want to cross it up, put 5 of you guys on the 50, but don't try to cross it up from these back bunkers. Just too tough.
ML Kings here on a split screen. There's Johnny Greer out wide here and not feeling any pressure, so he's just rolling his gun over the top of his front player.
Yeah.
Here on the snake side.
Complete control.
Another secondary move for the Wild Dogs on that D side there to get into D2. But those are the only 2 bodies left alive. It's going to be really tough for them.
4 on 2
They got to get a kill here. Yeah. Somebody has to step up and shoot this front player for the ML Kings. I think it's Padilla
there's
again.
a G. ML Kings lose a player.
There it is. That's the kill they needed. So I think that's Greg coming off from that D side. One of their better guys, at least from what you were telling me, the input coming from those last couple events.
Yeah. So it looks like it's either 2 on 3 or 2 on 2. ML King have a little advantage though because they know exactly where the 2 naughty Wild Dogs are.
Definitely at least 3 players left alive right now for the ML Kings.
Where's the 3rd one I'm missing? In one of the Doritos, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Dorito, but here comes the move up the center.
No one's looking.
Yeah, past the 50-yard line right now. He's trying to find these last bodies. That Wild Dog switched at the worst possible moment. Little 2-pack run through.
Yeah, got to work together
to finish things out here for the ML Kings to take a lead. 2 points in a row for them. Now still 11 minutes on the clock and a lot of time to work with, but the rain's still coming down.
And that was actually not as bad as that could have gone from the Wild Dogs because a lot of times in that situation when they get frustrated, they make a mistake and draw a penalty there. So they're okay. That was not too bad for them. They're only going to be down by 1.
That was Johnny Greer. Johnny Greer.
Good old Johnny Greer.
Great player, man. I think, like, you talk about underrated players.
Yeah.
Now, Johnny's played with some great guys and great teams. He was, he's been flown overseas, but I feel like he's one of those guys that the average paintball fan doesn't really know that he is as good as he is.
he doesn't get the credit he deserves.
Absolutely, but that was a nice little polish. Perfectly timed, too. He started in the back corner bunker on the snake side, filtered through the middle once the dust settled.
Became the pivot guy.
Once he realized that there were 2 bodies left alive, and as soon as the second he knew that those 2 were stacked up in front of him,
you could see which way the barrels were going.
And especially in the rain, you see those puffs of smoke, and it's really easy to know which side you need to run. And then the Wild Dogs, as soon as Johnny launched, unfortunately for them, he switched sides. If he had stayed inside, he would have had a chance to at least trade out with Johnny.
This is Level Up's faster lineup out here. So they switch. This is the one that won the first 2 points with. They get 1 kill on the break against the Kings. Aftermath taking a walk. So Aftermath down 1. Level attacking on the drill side now. 5-on-4 advantage to Level. Level does have 1 player in the center of the field, locking down the snake lane.
So a good break for Level in the sense that they have 5 bodies alive, but they didn't take any ground. A little ground on the D side in D2. Now going to bump up secondary into D3.
Yeah. And it gets real hard over here, Matty, when you're stuck in this temple to try to get outside against the guy in the brick and one of the guys in the back center. So a lot of times what's happening is one of the guys that will release from the back center for Columbus run at that big brick in the middle and then use that to power out. That's like how Harris Hussein was doing it. So some of the bigger, slower guys can make that. Oh, and there goes the player for Level going right through that gap on the snake player. Aftermath player saw him go. Oh, right around there. Nice.
Dowiak again here in the snake.
Yeah, he's got to play tight because that center cube can shoot him, and he can shoot each other.
And he's got to be careful not to hit that bunker and let his opponents know that he's there. He's going to wrap around. He's going to get a free kill inside. Does he make a shot, though, in the rain? And it looks like he does. He gets 1, he gets 2. Dowiak getting it done right now. A little 3-piece for him as he gets the crossfield kill as well. So he's going to try to win it single-handedly here from the 50-yard line in the snake side. Rich, you were talking about how potent this snake can be. We're watching it done by Dowiak right now for Columbus Level. Here comes Hallowell to back him up.
Yep.
And they're going to be putting their 3rd point on the board here against Aftermath with 10:38 remaining.
I like the way Dowiak's doing it because he's kind of changing the timing. He went fast and early, then he didn't go, and then this time he went kind of slow and methodically, so he's kind of making it hard for those guys to figure out when he's going and how he's going.
Well, but look, as everyone knows, even when you're the lower-ranked teams, you're going to be scouted. Everyone's going to know how you play, and if you only have 1 gear
you're in trouble.
And a couple different looks, you're going to be in trouble because the best teams are going to be able to figure you out immediately. Not even have to spend that much time. It's like, okay, well, he's always going to this spot, and he always favors his right, and he goes this way. So, yeah, a couple different looks right now for Dowiak in this snake, and with Level having a pretty deep roster, for me with these younger teams, I love their coach, Robbie Goldsmith.
Yeah.
Great guy. And I think it's a good choice to help lead this young squad.
And so after the Level Up event, I got to hang out with those guys a little bit, and just good, and Pando at his house, and just a good overall program, right? Like a good coach, good team, like working hard, like.
And they know it's going to take time.
No egos, they don't think they're special because they play paintball.
And if you guys watching us on Facebook, please head on over to GoSports.com after this. Sign up, help us out here, as we're trying to do all we can to bring you guys the best paintball broadcast in the world. Right now, ML Kings doubling up that back center here with a 1-point lead against the brand new pro team, the Wild Dogs. Kappas on the snake side again for the ML Kings, getting a peek here from the little cake behind the snake structure.
Now, he can just crawl inside from there and block everybody out and actually crawl from that little nipple to that thing. When I was walking the field earlier, I looked at it.
Couple lanes looking this way here towards Kappas. Couple moves now, 3 of them actually for the Wild Dogs, repositioning nicely. Everybody lives like as Eddie. They move up the field into D3, also with the 50 brick, and then on the snake side, still no bodies have dropped though for either squad. Looks like a 5-on-5 break. We have seen a ton of early deaths, Rich, so far in this first set. Now, just as I say that, Kyle Berry forced to take the walk from the back corner bunker on the D side. That leaves still a body over there to attack for the ML Kings.
Yeah, problem for the ML Kings right now, though, is that Wild Dogs are in both 50s. Oh, they lose their first player, so that's going to hurt the Wild Dogs a little bit because they had a 1-body advantage and all the spots.
So evened up on the body count again, 4-on-4, as we crack the 10-minute mark. 9:48 to go. Tiny 1-point lead for the ML Kings. Yeah, they're locking it up, Rich. Like they have a 3- or 4-point lead here, though.
Yeah, and I don't think they're intending to lock it up. I think the 2 guys on the snake side are afraid to go in the snake because it's hot. And the 1 guy on the drill side is afraid to go forward because there's a guy in front of him as well.
Big move on the D side, past the 50-yard line as Kappas tries to rip a lane and keep that player honest. But the Wild Dog's still alive. Got a body in front of him, though, on the ML Kings to see if he can identify that and come take him out. Here comes the push on the other side now as the snake player for the ML Kings. Past the 50-yard line, Kappas comes off, though, so the body's trading back and forth. And here goes Padilla in a tactical retreat to the back center. Try to give Greg a little bit of help. Wild Dogs able to take him out, though, as he tries to get his another tactical retreat to the tower. So just 1 player left alive. I believe that is Greg Montalvo cross field. He's going to get shot in the back here by Gonzalez.
But he shoots his guy.
Second. He gets a kill, but Gonzalez is going to be able to get the point most importantly and tie this up. So the Wild Dogs looking pretty good here.
Yeah, it was a good point for them. Gonzalez doesn't want to hit that buzzer because he got that paint check earlier in the 50 snake. He's afraid the referee saw something he didn't.
Like, is anyone
anybody
guys,
else?
Can I get some help?
Anybody else?
On me.
He did have one guy left alive in that corner too. He's gonna be pissed. He's gonna be like, bro, come on, man. So Eddie started off really well in that point, but then got caught late. One of the younger guys from the Wild Dogs.
So when I was asking you, hey, Rich, Wild Dogs, give me the input. You coached them, and you know, if you just tuned in, just give a little bit more information. But because we talked about this a little bit, but after watching them play a couple points now, you're totally right. As far as the athleticism is concerned, the gun skills, they have all that.
Yep.
So that's a good thing to see. They look like they know what they're doing from that perspective. And I also like some of these moves they've been kind of making because that was the unknown. Once they get to the pro speed, you know, what are they going to do? Obviously, they have some of their better teams are going to be playing here in a little bit, but they're currently tied up.
And they definitely have the passion. They definitely have the passion.
Oh,
passion.
Yeah, they got that. They were doing multiple chants out there. They were beating some drums.
Matt was down there singing, and they were doing, I thought Oliver was going to show up for a little bit. Here we go, Aftermath on our left, level up on the right, level up by 2 points. Aftermath's got to scratch their heads a little bit of a break in the rain here. So maybe our first, like, kind of
regular point?
Traditional point, you know, non-heavy rain point.
I mean, I don't care how tough you are or where you're from, Seattle, Florida. Playing in the rain sucks.
Sucks.
You're shooting paintballs at each other, and any liquid in your barrel is going to deviate the path and make it less accurate. You're wearing goggles. And they fog up, they get wet. Playing in the rain sucks.
So you can't see.
Through the mud.
You can't see. Can't
really
shoot straight.
Yeah.
Nobody can hear you.
Exactly.
I tried to get them to postpone the event so we could just hang out for a few days. I'm like, guys, let's just wait until next week. We're all here.
I'm hoping that maybe this break, as we were looking at the radar earlier here with Jason Trojan, our commissioner, but there was going to be a little bit of a break, potentially, and a little bit more coming after it. But knock on wood, hopefully we've been spared the wrath. And we've been through the worst so far. Last night was a little sketch.
There's that run I was telling you about, Matt, where the players go up the center and out to get into the snake.
And a move now here for level. A couple of them here on the D side and up into the center, but Iannucci the first to go on the snake side. No one over there for level yet. He's going to wrap around and maybe get a free kill. There's one, might be able to get two.
Yeah, he'll get 2 or 3 because no one. That's the thing is you get in that snake and no one knows you're there. If there's no one in front of you or outside of you, you just kill everybody.
Iannucci is feasting right now. That's a 3-pack here for John Iannucci Jr. And now he's going to continue his attack, go past the 50-yard line. Might have got clipped cross field. The ref's going to give him a check, but he's still alive. And then here comes the hammer about to get dropped by C.J. Canner in the center.
Yeah, Canner's got to watch out and not get a penalty there. He could have drawn a bad penalty there because he ran right past the other player for level up that's in that 50 wing over there.
Wyatt's scanning the field here, trying to count the bodies as they are just coming off in droves right now for Columbus level because John Iannucci Jr. is going to get at least his 4th kill.
Yeah. Nice point for John Iannucci Jr. there.
Aftermath going to pull within 1. Score will be 3-2, still in favor of level.
When we were talking earlier about snake side, D side, that's one of the reasons I said the snake side is so strong. Because if you don't have a guy out there, it's almost impossible to keep that guy from just wrapping it first on the corner, the nipple, the inside guy, and all the way around to the brick and the Doritos.
Yeah, if somebody doesn't switch a gun that way, well, of course, that's like any layout, man. If you don't have any guns towards one side of the field and the guy knows what he's doing, he's going to kill your entire team. And that's exactly what we just saw from John Iannucci. You have to, so you're in a fight, you can't just go one way and throw rights. You have to have more weapons at your disposal. So that's just a miscues there. They're going to have to get that one back here. But yeah, level just completely dropped the ball and let Iannucci do whatever he wanted to do in that snake.
Well, like we used to say in our days, assume the snake is hot. And play accordingly. Play like the snake is hot at all times.
I think they still say that.
Those first 3 guys that got killed were not playing like the snake was hot. They were playing like there's definitely no one in the snake. Relax, be calm.
I mean, their backs. They were giving Iannucci huge targets to shoot at. Tied up ball game right now, 2-2, 8:45 to go as the Wild Dogs double up the back center again, but they lose their first body on the D side.
Told him to get out of that back. Eddie crawling into the snake there from that small nipple on the snake side. Big move from Diego there from the can all the way to Dorito and gets caught.
And now going to try to get out wide on the D side. So 2 bodies have come off for the Wild Dogs. They are able to make it out wide. They are able to make it into the snake with Eddie. And he's going to do what he's supposed to do, which is crawl right to that 50. I don't think there's anybody in there with him for the ML Kings.
Oh, Eddie just got a kill across the field on that Dorito too. Had no idea, like I said, no idea he was there. He needs to wrap outside now before his
There's
can.
a body. He needs to worry about the wedge, too. Yeah. There's a body at that wedge, but the wedge gets taken out, even though another kill comes off for the ML Kings, getting a shot on one of the Wild Dogs. So no one, I think, on that D side right now for the Wild Dogs. Gonzalez is still alive in the back center. He knows that need to spread the field out.
Yeah, good move by Gonzalez.
But I think that Eddie did all the work already. No, Padilla's still alive in the center, and they also have another body up at that center 50. So just a couple more thorns dug in right now for the ML Kings.
Yeah, Eddie's got to get the guy out of that center brick and not let that. And then Gonzalez has got to make sure the guy in the center brick doesn't run Eddie. It looks like it's a 2-on-2 here. Eddie let that guy go from the center can all the way over to the Dorito side. Got to do a better job of containing, and Gonzalez has to do a better job of helping Eddie.
Another move here for the ML Kings as they move all the way into D3, a couple of them. I think that might be Johnny again. And if he can win this battle on that D side, it's going to really benefit the ML Kings, and it looks like he does, and he stays alive.
Gonzalez sloppy, man. 2-on-2. Eddie's over here wheeling and dealing.
I think it's going to be a 2-on.
Oh, no, it's going to be a penalty, a red on.
Well, that's a red penalty on, I believe, that, I don't know if that was Johnny Greer or not, but whoever that player was for the ML Kings, it looked like he was about to save the day for his squad. Instead, a red from major penalty assessed.
And I think they'll be starting with 4 because they only had one guy to pull.
Yeah, but I don't know if are the Wild Dogs going to get the point. You see the Wild Dogs kind of walking off in confusion.
Yeah, they have to get the point on a red, like, right?
Well, yeah, the refs are talking about it right now. But the first penalty of the day of the tournament, and it is a major penalty assessed.
Just so you know, we're not messing around out here, people. We're throwing reds left and right.
Well, it is. You want the refs to throw some penalties early, because if they don't,
you have to set the tone. You got to set the tone early.
To a practice with no refs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to happen out here.
No.
Typically, in the NXL,
they don't mess around.
They have some pretty hardcore reffing, so.
You have to, man. All right, looks like Level's coming back out. Aftermath is back out. This match started off all level. Now Aftermath has kind of come back.
Very close, though. Both these games close, which is good to see.
Level's got their fast lineup back in.
I mean, I like watching paintball, but blowouts are boring.
Yes.
So I'm glad we got 2 good battles here to start out the World Cup. And again, thank you guys so much for joining us. Your very first set of this pro battle, 4 days of battle here in Kissimmee, just outside of Orlando. And once we get through this weather, it's supposed to be pretty nice the rest of the weekend.
I heard it's going to be beautiful.
Well, all the Floridians were telling us that typically the best weather you ever get in Florida is after a tropical storm or a hurricane rolls through.
This is perfect.
Yeah, so.
Perfect.
I heard that from, pretty much every Floridian. They're like, okay, well, this could get bad. And it's not really the hurricane you need to worry about or the tropical storm. It's the tornadoes within the hurricane. I'm like, oh, great.
Well, obviously, guys. Okay. I mean, Jesus.
Awesome. Let's hope
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Completely destroy the World Cup. But the bulk of it skated north, thank God. But yeah, then they said, but it should be beautiful this weekend, man, because once these crazy storms roll through, it's just gorgeous the next couple of days. I'm like, okay, awesome. I'll take your word for it.
So Tuesday, Wednesday next week will be amazing.
That's when I'm flying out, so perfect.
Perfect. Little delay here, just trying to get scoreboard going. Referees cleaning up the field. Level Aftermath levels up by 1. 9:30 left in this match. Giant Iannucci's down there trying to predict where the level guy's going on the break. If he called snake, then he called it right. Because they went snake on the break, although they didn't shoot him. 5 alive for both teams. Nope, Level loses their first player out of that center can. But take the Drio 2 and snake 1. A little advantage for them early. They did not contain, though, on the snake side and let Aftermath fill out. Aftermath loses their first player on the Drio side.
And they're going to filter another body out that way. Might be losing that player as well, too. No, it looks like he's clean. Paliti into the snake structure here, but just the very back end of it right now as Justin starts to shoot inside. They also have a body real far up, Columbus Level does, on that D side all the way to the wedge. So
4-on-4 here, slight advantage for Level.
Level playing the aggressor here in this point, even with the lead, as Paliti going to take a little bit more ground now and get a little bit more outside. Does have to start worrying about that crossfield shot. Here comes a secondary into the snake to present a little offense for Aftermath. Paliti sees the bunker move. See, this is why you don't want to hit that bunker. It's just tough to do. Paliti's
real good
come
play.
Around.
How good was that, man?
It's really tough to slide. He's got another body in front of him, though, but Paliti gets shot crossfield. He does his damage. They need to follow this move up.
That was a really good call, though, Matty, about moving the bunker like that. That's a really good.
Yeah, as soon as Justin saw that. But it's tough
That's
to rate.
good play, though.
But it's so hard. You have to start your slide a little bit earlier, and it's tough to consciously think about that because a lot of these dives and these slides are just second nature to these guys.
Level up player just misses that Aftermath player in the center tower there. No idea there was a second guy in the snake there for level. They know he's there now, though. Snake, one player looking to try to figure out how to go get that level up player. Oh, level up player had no idea he was there. Yeah, you got to play that tape. Oh, Aftermath player takes one. Looks like he bounced. Got a bounce. Lucky bounce there. Aftermath with advantage here. Only 2 players left for level up. 3 players for Aftermath. Oh, level up. I mean, Aftermath pushes down the Dorito. Shoots one, loses one.
Yeah, Guerreri here.
Oh, don't get that penalty. He's already hit. Don't get that penalty, dummy.
Got to be careful. Yeah, it's so no flags, though, on that
lucky. He's
trade.
Lucky. Aftermath's lucky they didn't get a penalty there.
Did you see any bodies? Yeah, his body left alive right now. It's Wyatt. Wyatt surviving through that chaos.
Sometimes that's all you got to do, man. You don't have to shoot anybody.
Well, Greg
got to be alive.
Greg did try to follow up Pleiades' move here, but then he got taken out. But in these scrambles, hey, you only need one guy left alive to get that buzzer, and it's going to be Wyatt, and it looks like he's going to be clean. And that was the point that Aftermath needed to stay in this match with 7:20 left on this clock, tie ball game. God, it's always nice when you're the last guy and you're scanning the field. You're like, oh, Jesus, what just happened?
At first it sucks, right? Because you're like, is there somebody that I missed somewhere? Yeah. Am I going to step on a landmine? And then you're like, oh, everyone's looking at me and I don't know what's going on. All right, I'm just going to go for it. And then when you get there, no one shot you in the back. You're like, oh, this is awesome.
Perfect.
This is great. Yeah. I played this point really well.
I'll be the hero here on this one. No problem.
You're welcome, guys.
Yeah, I like the look that Level has put out here for this
Better,
one.
right?
Yeah, they look pretty crisp.
I think so
clean.
too.
I was talking to Pando, and he was giving us some information, and they've been active during this summer, quote unquote off season.
Got their new jerseys.
Yeah, wearing their home jerseys for the very first time ever. But I also like the look that we're seeing out of Aftermath. I think that Inucci had that amazing point here on the snake side. They're making the moves they need to make. They're
counterpunching when they need to.
Exactly, just won that scramble point.
And Inucci hasn't killed anybody yet.
Was that a rare smile from John?
I thought I saw a smile. Maybe it was like a spasm or something.
So there's Johnny Greer, Kyle Berry. They've both been doing this for a long time. There's Greg, John Talvo. And I like what we're seeing out of Padilla here on the snake side. So, all these younger teams, Rich, that we were talking about, man, leading up to this pre-show, is a lot of guys looking to prove themselves. A lot of work that had needed to be done to improve the consistency of these younger squads. From a talent perspective, even though a lot of fans might not know these names that well, but these guys, they will. These guys are talented. It just takes a long time. It takes a lot of battles out there. But ML Kings need something here. Wild Dogs looking real solid in their very first match in a must-win situation for both these squads. These guys are playing the other lower-ranked teams in their bracket, and those are the games that you have to win, because the titans of the game are going to be the games that they have to play next. Two bodies walking off, one for each team. There goes Kyle Berry on a secondary for the ML Kings up to the center. Brick, and there goes Padilla. He's going to try to roll his gun and get himself into the snake. Greg also repositioning on the D side as another body walks off for the Wild Dogs. Wild Dogs playing a little bit more timid here in this one, getting stuck in that back a little bit, but able to reposition the center. Here comes Kyle Berry. No one has shot him, so he's going to run through. Misses his shot, though, as he kind of slides a little bit on the wet grass, but he's still alive.
Yeah, Diego's sneaky up in that 50. He turned at the exact right second there. Oh, and look, that's what I told you about earlier. He went to go get him, but does not draw the penalty. Good job.
And but doesn't kill him. So Kyle Berry, even though with that slip and the missed shot, still able to do his damage over there and trying to finish things out. So Kyle Berry getting it done, the veteran. Here goes Padilla, going to crawl up as well.
Probably push down the snake a little more aggressively if he knew it was a 3-on-1.
But yeah, he just doesn't know the count. Yeah, the communication out here, maybe because of the conditions, hasn't been that great for any of these teams. I haven't really heard too much screaming and yelling and codes going back and forth. But it's tough when the wind's blowing. Sometimes, and if you did tape your barrel, your gun's going to be even louder.
Yeah, and to be fair, with the Wild Dogs, their communication isn't where it needs to be, right? That's something they're constantly going to have to work on as a team.
Well, the ML King's going to tie it up. 3-3 is the score in both of these games.
Yeah, good first match, man.
Real good first matches.
The only thing that would make it better is if we had one of those big carafes of some Starbucks.
That would be nice.
I mean, Darren's down there in a nice dry booth. You think he could go get it for us, right?
I mean, he's kind of busy right now. I do have my delicious cup of coffee. I did ask you if you wanted
and
coffee
I appreciated that earlier this morning.
I try to look after you sometimes.
Hey, thank God somebody is, because I'm not doing a very good job.
Yeah, I did bring your wheelchair, so that's here.
And my walker. I appreciate both of those things.
Still a lot of time left in these games, Rich.
Yes. Level's got their modified lineup. Oh, Aftermath takes Snake on the break, but loses him and went up and out.
Looking at Level on your screen right now, and that body walking off for Aftermath as they try to make the Snake. That was Ianucci again. So lane's being held down here by Level. Aftermath, that body's stuck in that back center. He's going to need to get out here.
So that's one of the things we talked about in the practice, and one of the things I talked about with the teams is not allowing anyone to do what they just did, right? Aftermath was stuck in that can, and if one guy contains those two guys in that can and takes this whole third of the field away from them, it makes it really hard for them to win those points. And for some reason, teams were really struggling on containment, just like that. You know, they would just let that guy fill out game after game after game. This is something all the teams need to kind of work on and improve.
Yeah, and a couple lost gunfights now for Aftermath. Got to be a little frustrating for them, as just 2 bodies left alive. There's another lost gunfight. Can't really knock him too much on that one. He had to reposition across.
Yeah, 5-on-1.
Point was lost early here. And a couple controlled lanes and 1 gunfights for Level to take a slight lead, 4-3.
So my take on both of these teams is when they do well on the breakouts, they played really, really well. When they don't do well in the breakouts, they don't make the adjustments they need to and kind of struggle those points. And that's why they both have some really strong points and some really bad points, and the score is so close.
Yeah. And
they need that pivot guy, that Ryan Greenspan, to be like, oh, they shot everybody on my right team. All I got to do is go over there and just play 50 ball, and we're just fine. Oh, look, God just punished Matt Marshall. Thank you, God.
Oh, coffee down. That was instant karma.
Yeah. Well, maybe you should be nicer to me when you're taking care of me. ML Kings, Wild Dogs, very close match here. The ML Kings, I don't know if you saw it, Matty, because you were doing some technical stuff, but they took that tower, the center tower by the Dorito on the break, and got that first kill against the Wild Dogs going to that center, but then got eliminated out of there. Wild Dog Snake on the break. Shoot 1 player from the ML Kings on the Dorito side. That might be Greg taking the walk over there. Wild Dogs all the way to that 50 Snake. He's going to look in and see if that brick is clean. Oh, immediately looks in, misses that 50 brick. Oof, can't miss that shot.
This is
and he doesn't miss it, he gets it.
Pretty crucial point right here. Good to see the Wild Dogs playing aggressive in a moment like this.
5 minutes left, 3-3. 5-on-3 situation, 5-on-2 situation.
In a close game with 5 minutes left to go, this is when you want to try to seize the initiative here and start getting that momentum. That's a big move from the Wild Dogs, marching down that D side. Going to get that kill and then going to be drawing a major penalty, though. That major, I think, might be on the ML Kings as they're going towards that side of the field, but no one left to pull. And that is when, as a coach, you got to be real frustrated. You cannot be getting penalties in that situation. Close game like this, not a ton of time on the clock, still enough to get a few more points to get it back, but almost kind of sacrificing the next point as well, too. When you're losing 1 point, do not get a penalty, because if you have to play down, that's going to potentially sacrifice 2 points.
Yeah, and I really like Johnny Greer, and I really like that squad of guys on the ML King. really nice guys, good paintball players. But man, when I saw that, I told you sometimes the Wild Dogs make mistakes in positions that have kind of cost themselves in the past. I thought that red was against the Wild Dogs. I was like, guys, it's a 5-on-2. But luckily it was not. So the rain is picking back up. I'd say it's definitely at least a strong mist at this point, a strong misting out there.
Decent sprinkle.
A decent sprinkle.
Right now.
In NorCal, we don't call this rain, okay? Maybe down in SoCal, you guys call this rain.
Oh, the city of San Diego would be shut down right now.
the whole state would be shut down. We'd be crashing our cars. We'd be hooking up generators.
It is ridiculous how bad San Diegans deal with even like a 1/10 of an inch of rain.
Yeah, even when it gets like
that's
condensation from the morning fog, you guys can't handle it. So the scoreboard is not correct. I believe this is a 4-3 match or a 5-3 match. I know Level's up by a few points, but I know Aftermath has also scored a couple. It was 3-3 at one point.
I think it is 4-3 in favor of Aftermath.
Of Aftermath, okay.
I'm sorry, Level.
Yep.
My bad. I believe 4-3.
I think that's what it is too.
In favor of Level.
6:29 left. This rain is tough, man. I don't know if you guys can see it at home, but you guys, if you've played in the rain, you know that these guys are struggling. A lot of them I look out there, I see a lot of speed feeds.
And a lot of this.
Yeah.
Hands over your goggles.
If your hands are over your goggles, you should have a visor. If your hand is over your hopper, you should have a lid. if you're shooting really squirrely paint, take that barrel up.
Beanies stretched over.
That's right.
You either need to put a visor on
or go Brian Cole. Go Brian Cole.
Yeah, go put your hat forward, something.
For God's sakes, take care of yourselves. Referees trying to get the scoreboard going. Players are not enjoying themselves right now. All right, 10 seconds. Again, level up by, we believe, 1 point with 6:29 here. Aftermath doing well when they survive the breakout, but struggling when they lose bodies and struggling when they don't get the snake early.
Level up to the center brick off the break and matched by Aftermath, and then into the snake structure. Aftermath, who does lose that body.
He shot him on that move. The big guy went from the can to the temple and shot the brick. That was impressive, yeah.
Looks like Level going to make another move there on the D side as well.
Snake. Big boy's going snake, and he did this in practice a few times. Nice work. Love that. Hope he goes up there and has an amazing game. Great shot of him crawling up there with 10 pods on his back.
He definitely has enough bullets for sure. But it looks like Level going to be losing that body out of the snake and out of the center as well too. Not looking good for Level here. Aftermath going to try this one up as Iannucci stayed alive this time.
Yeah, Iannucci just got that first kill, went right to that snake, and he's going to start wrapping.
Iannucci's been looking pretty good here in this point. He's had some good points for them over the past season. Younger player too, son of the owner. Oh, just like that was first commentator curse of the
first
event.
of many.
Just started talking about how good he was doing, and he loses a bad gunfight. Gets shot from the back center. There goes a move from the ML Kings trying to roll the dice with 2 bodies here on the D side. They end up getting 1 though. That's a tough trade.
Yeah, Aftermath losing 2 bodies for 1 over there.
And they also lost Johnny, so they still have 1 body left alive over here.
Yeah, I think it's
on the snake side.
2-on-1 now. Aftermath with 2.
But
level up with 1.
What in these conditions even tougher to keep that count. So
for sure,
these guys probably not knowing exactly how many bodies are in front of them.
Well, in this field, Matty, is easy to lose people, right? If you're in any spot out here, and as soon as you go down, you lose everybody because there's so many big bunkers on the 15 in the centers. This might be a one-on-one, Matty.
I think it is a one-on-one. And if it is one-on-one, this one-on-one brought to you by the Ultimate Shootout. Monday Night Paintball will be going down. Also, I believe the next divisional event, I think, is still set up for next weekend. So, still a chance to sign up for that.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it should be set up for next weekend.
Yeah, it's Wyatt for Aftermath. Can't see who that is for Level.
I thought, yeah, I can't either. I thought it was Nick first, but it's not. One-on-one, and so the Level guy here, we're assuming he's up by a point, so there's not as much pressure on him as there are on the Aftermath guy. Because the Aftermath guy has to win this gunfight and stay alive. All the Level player needs to do is not lose.
Level getting the drop on Wyatt, but Wyatt picks him up.
That was good timing on Wyatt. He's like, he's got to be somewhere.
He hasn't shot at me for a while, so he must be moving.
Good spider sense for Wyatt.
That's also, it's a big bunker, but a tough bunker to gunfight out of if you're Wyatt.
Yeah, because you get caught over the top just like that.
The advantage definitely goes to Level here as he repositions and tries to get the drop on him. A couple more repositions, a little tactical retreat here in this one-on-one.
Yeah, I like the way that Level guy's playing it. Every time Wyatt loses him, he takes to a different spot, different bunker.
Wyatt's playing the streams, though, and now Wyatt's going to cut through the center and come up, and
I think they traded. I think Wyatt's arguing, so I think they traded.
Wyatt's arguing that he shot him in his first snapshot, and I think he might have a pretty valid argument, too, but that the player for Level was able to put a ball on him pretty quick, too, so, you know, in a bang-bang situation like that, you're not always going to get the call. I mean, one referee has to see it very definitively, but I think Wyatt might have shot him a fraction of a second earlier.
So if that's a no point, right? If everybody's dead?
Should be a no point.
So Level will still have a point lead there.
I believe so.
And they burned off 2 or 3 minutes.
Ideal.
For them.
For Level. Not ideal if you're Aftermath. I thought Wyatt played that pretty decent.
As good as you could, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was in kind of a tough spot and not a lot of places to retreat to.
I would like to see him back off of that break a little bit.
Yeah, you always want to play the bunker, not let the bunker play you. But still, as far as playing the streams, I mean, he was able to pick up his opponent every time he made a move just by knowing from which angle the paintballs were approaching.
He played it really smart because he could have got caught 2 or 3 times there. 2 or 3 times he lost his guy.
10 seconds.
That's Papa down there for Wild Dogs.
So,
ML King starting here with 4 players because that penalty, taking Snake on the break.
And the ML Kings down bodies and down a point here with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. Wild Dogs are going to be losing the first body, though, so that's going to even up the count. Now 4-on-4. Tap us into the Snake for the ML Kings. No one in the Snake right now for the Wild Dogs. They decided to go out wide, though.
They lost their guy, went up the gut, cut over, and got caught.
Rich, another body dropping for the ML Kings, 3-on-4 now, and as the Wild Dogs launch on a secondary move, diving into the Snake structure.
MLK luckily did see that Snake player Phil for Wild Dogs, so they do know that he's there. As long as you know he's there, you can kind of play it, but it's when they go in there and no one knows they're there that guy wraps and gets 2 or 3 kills.
It would be so huge for the Wild Dogs' confidence if they could come out here and get a win in their very first pro match ever against a team that has been playing pro, not forever, but for a decent amount of time.
Yeah. So Wild Dogs applying more pressure now, losing one on the Drio side as they push up the Drio side.
Yeah, it's a tough death. He still had some time to work with.
Yeah.
Maybe didn't know that Kappas had made that move to the inside and was shooting that lane. Kappas was just zoned up there.
Yeah. Regardless, though, no excuse. You can't die. If you're up a point, a little bit of time. Oh, referee coming in to check the ML King player in the corner over there, and he is eliminated and draws a minor.
And it's Kyle Berry getting a minor penalty. That's going to pull out body here in the center for the ML Kings, and that is an unfortunate turn of events here for the ML Kings, but a really good thing for the Wild Dogs. Kappas tries a desperation attack and ends up trading out. It's not going to matter, though. They need to concede this point. The ML Kings need to concede this point and preserve the time. They're going to need to get 2 on the board just to tie.
Charlie's got to be on. Charlie's probably trying to figure out what they're going to do differently instead of ringing that bell now.
Well, it's also tough at the World Cup because typically the pits aren't at the back end of the fields.
Right.
So it's really hard to know when you should concede the point. But at this point in time, they're just squandering precious seconds. So if I'm the Wild Dogs, don't hit that buzzer. Oh,
yeah, should not hit that buzzer.
So
lack of experience. Only one Wild Dog player left alive to hit that buzzer.
I mean, that's look. I understand he's probably, looks like Ramirez, super happy that they just put up another.
Probably could have got himself 30 seconds though, right?
Or who knows? If they just take as much time off the clock as possible.
For sure. That's one of those things that you give them a hard time for, but you're like, hey man, yeah, whatever. You know, like ideally, we want to burn that clock as much as we can, but thank you for being alive and hitting the buzzer.
But at this level, that's the type. You know, it's like when you watch AC Dallas yell at each other. Like AC Dallas could be up 4 points. And in an awesome game, they've been just stomping, and they make one little mistake, and they're yelling at each other like they're down 4, and they're going to get knocked out of the tournament.
Yeah.
But expecting that excellence at every level, even the little tiny stuff, is why they make Sundays so consistently. Have been to the finals 4 times. So, but yeah, I'm with you. I'd start with a ton of praise, and I'd say, hey, but the next time that we're up 2 points and the team's not going to concede, just sit there, especially when there's not a lot of time left.
Because what you don't want to do is like, hey guys, we just lost that by 30 seconds.
Yep.
So if we had 30 more seconds, we could have won that. Here we go, level up, Aftermath, level up, lose the first player on the snake corner, but at the same time, they take the snake 50.
Yeah, level in good position right now.
Yeah, see they're playing the cat and mouse game over there. They got the center brick on the 50 snake for level, and they got snake 1 on this 50 snake, so they're both just waiting for that guy to make a mistake.
Yeah, level with the lead here. Bleedy in good position. Got to be careful, as he's got to be feeling a little bit. Oh, comes over the top, and does he scalp his loader? It looks like he does. Justin Bleedy gets a kill out of here, and he stays alive.
And he's going to get a kill crossing that small Dorito if that guy's not. Oh, he got another kill across the field in small Dorito.
2-pack for Bleedy here is Aftermath comes over with Cantor to try to do some damage control, but it costs him his body. So Columbus level looking like they're going to put another point on the board.
Aftermath loses another player on the Drew side, so only 2 players left alive for Aftermath, looks like. 3 players left alive for Level Up. Level Up playing really well here in the second. Oh, sorry, 4 players left alive for Level Up. 2 on the Drew side, 2 on the Snake side. Aftermath with 1 player over here on the Snake side and 1 player over there on the Dorito side.
Yeah, with this lead, Level definitely wants to make sure. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was going to say, just kind of slow it down a little bit. Hallowell was behind Politi coming over to help him out.
Yeah, 4-on-2. That was a good call to concede that point.
So Aftermath going to go down another one. Here again, apologies about our scoreboard, but rain and electronics don't mix sometimes.
Technology. It's never going to catch on.
And we have battened the hatches down as much as we possibly can. We are battened down. And holding fast. But
hey, we were super happy when we showed up this morning and everything was still here.
That was a win in and of itself.
I mean, it was all wet, but it was here.
Yeah, I was talking to Joey Blute yesterday, who lives in Tampa. He's like, I'm driving home tonight just to make extra sure that everything's okay on the home front. And by the way, if this hits dead center, even just a tropical storm, if the winds get up to 60 and breathe, none of this will be here tomorrow morning. I was like, oh, great. Fun times.
Good times. All right, 5-3 here, 2:30 left. Wild Dogs have a pretty good advantage here. ML King's gonna have to win 2 points in 2 minutes and 38 seconds to tie this match and 3 points in that time in order to win. Yeah. ML Kings, though, Wild Dogs have to be really careful about not going out there and letting their emotions get away from them and make a mistake here and get a penalty, because when I was coaching them, honestly, they almost won every match and lost because of some small mistake that they made. They're that team that's really, really, really good, but also kind of the worst enemies at sometimes.
it's tough when you're dealing with some hot-blooded youth.
Those Latinos, man, they run so hot.
But you know, and that happens with young guys everywhere. It is what it is. I totally agree with you, though. If I was their coach, I would be trying to preach calm.
Tranquila,
yeah, exactly.
tranquilo.
Preaching calm right now.
Calmate, tranquilo. All right, here we go. ML Kings, Wild Dogs. Now, the only thing I would not like to see the Wild Dogs do is try to split 5 across the back and try to lock it up here. If they're going to try to lock it up and sit on their score, they need to go forward.
Yeah, and that was we were talking about that before we started it out. Was okay. Well, one, can you slow this field down once we have tournament paint, tournament refs, and then based on the conditions, and then so now, well, they decided to just go right at them. Wild Dogs aggressively pushing forward. Got to be careful not to get a penalty, though.
Yeah, well, if he shot that guy, if he shot the yeah, it's going to be a red for ML Kings.
Oh my God, the ML Kings
that
are
was
just
stupid.
That's just non-stop penalties here for the ML Kings. They're just decimating their chances.
But what a good job on Diego from the Wild Dogs not getting sucked into that penalty, right? When he got shot, he stopped instead of being like, I already shot that guy, and flipping out. He let the referees do their job, and it worked out good. That's maturity for those guys.
Which is what we said we wanted to see.
Yep.
So
good job, Wild Dogs. Going to win their first ever pro event.
Well,
pro match.
It's not in the bag till it's
in
actually
the bag,
in the bag.
Matt. The fat lady has sung.
We did it. It was a divisional event a couple years ago. I think it was in Chicago, and there was a divisional team in the finals up 4 points, and we cut down to an interview with Lauren. And this guy's like, "Yeah, we're stomping this team. It's in the bag. These guys can't hang with us.
They suck."
And then a team came back, scored 5 points in a row, and beat them. In like 3 minutes.
Lauren, can I get back on that microphone real quick? I want to apologize.
Yeah, he never lived that down.
I once saw the Russians come back. They said it couldn't happen, and I was like, oh, yeah, they're going to come back, watch.
Yeah, I was calling. I can't remember who was commentating with me, but we were in Texas one year.
Todd
maybe, yeah, I couldn't remember who it was, but one of our commentators was just didn't think the Russians had a chance. He said it was
Todd,
over.
why won't you believe? Aftermath, snake on the break. Is that? I think it's Iannucci again. And center 50 brick over the top on the break, and the left 50 brick. So Aftermath is going after Columbus Level, which is what they need to do here. Level losing their first player in the center 50 brick. Luckily, he didn't catch a penalty. He's playing with that. Oh, second player now gone from Level Up. Aftermath is coming hard and fast at this point. 2 in the snake, 2 down the Doritos.
They're down here, and they need this point to keep it close, and they don't have a lot of time to do it, so that's why they're hitting the gas pedal, as they are pretty much at all sides of the field. They do lose 2 on that D side. They got Cantor in the center, they got Wyatt and Iannucci over here in the snake.
I think it's down to a 3-on-3, Matty.
I think you're right, and Level is just trying to hold the line, but it's like we talked about, so tough to hold the line from those back spots, and they're going to lose a body doing it.
Yeah, those cans and temples in the back center get so small when the wires get.
So far, we have not seen anybody pull off trying to gun battle from those back bunkers while they have opponents pushing forward on them aggressively. It just hasn't happened yet. Maybe Level can do it right now, though. The last 2 hanging tough, but then they're going to lose another one, so it's going to be a 1-on-3, but they're not going to concede, as they're just going to try to burn as much of this clock off as possible.
Win this point with a minute left, maybe. Oh, Level Up trades. So
yeah,
2 Aftermath players
still
alive.
Just getting it to right around a minute probably by the time they hit that buzzer. They got to run in, though, preserve every second. Okay, so they're going to have a minute.
Level Up doing a really good job here. Aftermath's going to have to come up fast and hard and try to win a point in less than a minute.
Nice job by Cantor. Nice job by Wyatt here for Aftermath. And nice job by Iannucci. He did get shot there towards the very end, but he had to go. I mean, you're never going to knock your guys for playing on that reckless edge in a situation where you need quick points.
Flip side, right? You're gonna rip them up if they sat out there and didn't try to go win that point.
Absolutely.
I mean, in a supportive, calm, and loving manner.
Yeah, of course, fatherly.
Yeah. Maybe
nice father.
Maybe cool uncle. Maybe cool uncle.
Yeah, or like the older brother that's like 15 years older than you, so he just kind of has figured it out already.
30 seconds.
Felipe there for the Wild Dogs trying to figure out how much time's left because their clock's down in their pits.
So it's desperation attack time right now for the ML Kings, down by 3. Barely any time to work with here.
Well, and the problem is, right? If you got to do what they got to do, and you've already had 2 majors in this first match,
two majors and I think 2 minors.
So the refs are looking because you've already showed them that you're willing to push the line a little bit.
Yeah, this has been a penalty. You take away the penalties, I think we got a closer game.
For sure.
This is going to be a really frustrating loss for the ML Kings. I mean, you're looking on the schedule. This is the absolute must-win game for them. You're playing the brand new pro team, who just coming up from semi-pro and not ranked first in semi-pro either. So
yeah, ML Kings lose their first player over there on the drill side. Greg is over there still alive for them. But there's 2 on the snake side for ML Kings, 1 in the center, Greg's on the drill. 5 Wild Dogs, 3 spread across the back, 1 here in the snake.
Yeah, there goes the Wild Dogs. Or, sorry, ML Kings spreading it out here, snake side of the field. They really
gotta get out here.
Got to go faster than this.
And that was a little bit of problem they had in those practices, is those points where they were down and they were in a position to win the points, they didn't do it fast enough.
Rich, look at this. Wild Dogs are just tucked into their spots as tight as they possibly can. You can see there's Johnny Greer. Yeah, so sorry, that was Johnny Greer that made his move out here towards the snake side. He's up over the top, but they need to start risking it. This is not the time to play.
Yeah, because they don't need
the
1 point.
Attacks.
They don't need to win 1 point. They need to win 4, right, or 3 at a minimum, and you can't do that in a minute.
This is a put a guy in and go situation.
Yeah, well, you go win a one-on-one gunfight 2 or 3 times or die.
Yeah,
right.
And when we say win it, just put the guy in.
Yeah, put the guy in and go.
Just make him tuck in, and then you make your move through the lane. It's raining, and there goes the move in the center. He's going to get 1, but not able to get any more. So even though ML King still have 3 bodies to work to try to dig out of here, and here comes the attack. Got to be careful not to draw another penalty. You take that body out, and then you can see there top of your screen is another body flooded towards that D side, and here comes Greg pushing past the 50-yard line. He's still looking at a ton of bodies, though.
Yeah,
Man,
I still think it's 3-on-3.
Yeah, ML Kings, I don't think they're not going to be able to get it done. They are going to take an L here, as Greg is now all the way here, way onto their side. There goes another body for the Wild Dogs. But the Wild Dogs have done enough. Now it's just going to be what's the spread going to look like, as Greg's going to get another one. So a little 2-pack for Greg. Maybe even a 3 now.
Yeah,
that kill came from...
I'm going to give it to Greg.
So they're going to get 1, but with 15 seconds left, this ship has sailed on this game.
And this is where Charlie goes back and says, listen, guys, you had a great breakout here. You were up on bodies, and we just need to do this at a faster pace. And we're going to do a minute drill, we're going to do a minute and 30 drill, and we're going to do a 30-second drill so that we know how to play appropriately in these positions. Good opportunity to learn. Aftermath coming back out against Level Up.
An opportunity to learn, but an incredibly frustrating opportunity because, yeah, it's, you know, I love Charlie Givens, and I do believe in the talent that he's assembled here after a couple different iterations of the ML Kings. But looking at the experience levels between these 2 squads, I mean, this is a game you want to go out and win, and you want to win big. So I think maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe they came in and underestimated the Wild Dogs.
Probably.
Because the Wild Dogs have looked pretty good. I mean, they have the form down, and then some of the decisions I saw some of the guys make on moves was the intelligent, smart, aggressive decision to make at that time.
Earlier we were talking about the one-on-one challenges. I would love to get a couple of those guys in the one-on-one challenges.
We can do that. We can do that.
Because they're savages.
Yeah.
Aftermath taking a bounce going up the center, but taking the 50 brick at the same time. Gets her alive. 5 alive for both teams. Great breakout for both teams. Aftermath now taking an aggressive move up the middle, out into the snake. So they got a 50 snake, 50 Dorito, and a center 50 brick. 40 seconds left in this match. Level's about to lose their first player from that center brick. Level's got shot in the back there.
Level trying to hold tough, though, from these back spots. And might be losing player in the center here. His ref's checking him out, though. That's squandering precious seconds. It looks like he's clean.
Ooh, Aftermath could have just got a penalty. I'm not sure if that was Iannucci in the 50 snake. Got shot, snuck back in there. Ref caught him. Didn't give him a penalty. Aftermath loses another blowout on the drill side. Still pushing. Level up with 4 guys left alive.
Well, Aftermath died on their swords.
Yep.
And that's what you want to see.
Yep. That's what we talked about, man. I mean, even if it doesn't work, you still gotta try to do what you got to do, right? Just because you can't execute it, what we learn how to execute is trying it over and over again.
And this is also smart too. So you see Level go and get that point margin huge. So they're going to come out of this one with a win. Going to have 2-point margin, it looks like.
Or 3.
And maybe 3. Again, apologies about the scoreboard. The weather here not helping us out, the electronics, but...
Well, also staff, right? Like, so we do everything we can at Go Sports here, but like the rest of us, COVID has taken a lot of our staff away. Yeah. So we're doing our best. Please bear with us.
Hey, I'm just glad we're here.
Super glad we're
a World
here.
Cup happened.
Super grateful.
Pandemic,
super grateful.
Tropical storm, and we're still here.
Yeah, super grateful.
Well, so that game is over with, and now we're going to see what's going to go down here. The win's going to go to the Wild Dogs, and barring some craziness in 15 seconds, I doubt we're going to be able to see the ML Kings put a point on the board.
Yeah, so Wild Dogs should win their first game and have a 2-point margin. Good on them.
10 seconds.
And ML Kings didn't look terrible. Those penalties did hurt them, though.
2 great games, close games. ML Kings definitely shot themselves in the foot with 4 penalties. Not ideal.
Wow, terrible breakout there for the Donnie Dogs. Oh, and for the ML Kings. Both teams, terrible breakouts.
which is worse for the ML Kings.
For
they
sure.
only have 15 seconds to get down the field.
They're still just standing there like, I don't know what's going on, walking off frustrated. Like, when that bell rings, whether you're ready or not ready, you got to get ready.
Yeah, the Wild Dogs celebrating here. First game, first win. Congratulations to the Wild Dogs
Felipe's on fire right now.
Take down the ML Kings. And Rich, your scouting report was spot on.
Finally, I got one right.
Yeah. You know, you coached that squad for a little bit. You know, went down to Columbia. And,
hey, I coached them for a little bit, but they'll always be in my heart, man. I love those guys.
But, yeah, they looked athletic. They looked fast, just like you said. They have the individual skills. The question was, at this level, at this speed, were they going to be able to put it together as far as teamwork was concerned, and at least fighting against the ML Kings? The answer is yes. Now, there are bigger tests await them here as we move forward in this tournament, as, you know, the Wild Dogs going to be having they're in a pretty tough bracket. Russians, Dynasty, New York Extreme.
No problem.
So, but the first test is over with, and they're going to take that victory. Also, congratulations to Level. They take the victory, too. We're here at the 2020 NXL World Cup.
The driving mission at Go Sports is to bring you the best paintball content and broadcast in the world, behind the scenes, in the pits, and on the field. To continue this mission, we're rolling out a renovated website platform across the board, with easier search functions and a more robust chat system for better interaction with your fellow fans. Dive farther into the game with a new integrated stats portal. Get your insight into the game anytime, anywhere, with an improved functionality across all mobile devices. Check it out now.